Thank you very much. Let me start with the first one, Paul from Channels. And he's asking whether is it because there is the absence of ambassadors that has led to this problem with the United States. Now, let me say that this issue has actually been there. Recall that the issue of insecurity dates back to 2009 or even earlier. Yes, we know that ambassadors play a great role in enhancing countries' image wherever they are. But we don't want to say it is because there is the absence of ambassadors, because the Nigerian government has been relating with the American counterparts and other nations to ensure that there is greater collaboration. But let me also add that the president is working hard on this ambassadorial matter, and I believe that we'll hear very soon about that. Then Somna from Arise, he talked about the treatment of minorities. First, you see, our constitution gives equal rights to all members of the Nigerian citizens wherever they are. There is no one that is favored over the other in our constitution. And we have to recognize also that Nigeria, by our constitution, is a multi-faith, multi-religious country. What this means is that everyone is free to practice his or her faith of choice without let or hindrance. Sometimes you hear these arguments about the minorities being attacked. The policing system and the security agencies will not in any way, because someone is in the minority, say he's not going to be provided security or is not going to be protected by the security agencies. Nigerian security is formed in such a way that they should be able to respond to any threat wherever they may be, whichever community that they belong to. But of course, sometimes access to some of the infrastructure leading to some of these communities make it sometimes a bit difficult to reach there on time or when this crime is committed. And government is looking seriously into that to improve on that. And that is why there is massive investment in the infrastructure you see going around in the country to also make it easy and smooth for the security agencies to operate. You talked about the policing system. You are aware that President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, about a year ago, has moved the introduction of state police. And it's not just him, he is also working with all the governors around the country so that they can bring this about. But you know, it's not something that the president can just do by a mere executive order. This is something that has to be done in collaboration with the subnationals and the National Assembly, because this will mean a great shift in our policing system. And the president is working hand in hand with the state governors to ensure that policing is more effective. You also recall that the president has directed the additional employment recruitment of other young men and women into the Nigerian police force, in addition to the massive investment that we are seeing within the Nigerian police force in the purchase of hardware and also in the welfare of these police people. Now, there's a question you said about foreign lobbyists and influencers, and you are asking whether we are seeing that happening. Yes, indeed. We can say that, for example, Nigerian government has been able to have a correlation between some of these lobbyists operating especially in the United States of America and the activities here. We have seen, and it's matter of public record. If you go to the records of the United States, there is what is called the Foreign Agents Registration Act. It is clear there. You have seen that some of the influencers of these criminal activities have direct relationship with lobbyists in the US who have direct relationship with some of the people who are shouting about this issue outside this country. It is a matter of public record. Once you go there and you check, you also find it. Then you talked about motivation. Yes, I think I've answered that. The motivation by the police government, since the president came in, is working hard, like I said earlier, to not just procure the equipment that the police and other security agencies require to do this work, but to also motivate them by granting them better welfare for them to do their function, to perform their functions very well. It's a continuous exercise, and government will continue to do that. Whatever it takes to ensure that Nigeria becomes safe and secure, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu administration is out for that. The whole aim is to ensure that Nigeria is rid of the menace of these criminal elements and terrorists that are making life so unbearable for some people in this country.
Thank you very much. Please, a round of applause for the Honorable Minister.